Hello, I'm Barralet and welcome to this Crystal Connections video. We're exploring the crystal Black Tourmaline, probably the most easy colour to obtain of the tourmalines. This is a great crystal for removing distractions and dangers from your life so that you can find inner balance and focus. As you do that, it helps you to open up and listen to the spiritual messages and the guides that are around you. And thus Black Tourmaline is really good for helping you progress along your path and see the beauty and divine perfection in all life. So let's explore how Black Tourmaline can be used every day to help you along your path. One of the common uses for black crystals is for protection, and Black Tourmaline is no exception. Now, each of the black crystals works slightly different in the way that it protects you, and how Black Tourmaline is great, it kind of works well with an angel you may not have heard of called Jehudiel, or Yehudiel, spelled J-E-H-U-D-I-E-L. Now, a lot of people, when they want protection, call upon Michael. He's out the front with his fiery sword, rah, get out the way. Whereas Jehudiel is very different. He's often sensed either by your side, or I sense him behind my back, behind my right shoulder. He's tall and thin, often depicted wearing dark or black clothing. And how he works, kind of like a celebrity being pushed through a crowd of fans, he pushes things out of the way. Out of the way, please. Out of the way. Just like Black Tourmaline does. He's often seen carrying a whip, sometimes a cat of nine tails, and he'll whip anyone's ass who gets in your way. But, when working with Jehudiel and Black Tourmaline, they'll both clear your path, but that requires a bit of responsibility. So they'll also whip your ass if you're not moving along the path. Jehudiel is often seen wearing a crown, sometimes a crown of thorns, which depicts spiritual responsibility. And thus, if you're going to work with Jehudiel or Black Tourmaline, then you need to make sure that you're progressing along your path and taking advantage of the protection and the clearances that it's making for you. Now, one of the simple ways to use Black Tourmaline is in your house. And what you can do is you can just get some small pieces, about that size, and just pop them around your doorway. Just, blue tack them or stick them or sit them on top, however works. And you know how you get home from one of those days and you just want to let it all go? What I do is I pause at my front door, and then as I pass through, I just allow the Black Tourmaline to remove all that rubbish from the day. Now, a bit of a story. I did have one student who had a few little pieces around and a really nice piece up the top because she had a ledge. She'd been sitting there doing its thing for a while. Now, after about 2 months, her mother-in-law came to visit. And just after her mother-in-law had walked through the door, Black Tourmaline rolled off and fell on the ground. So Black Tourmaline is really good, but I can't promise it will protect you from mother-in-laws. Black Tourmaline is great for helping you make changes to your life. Maybe you're setting New Year's resolutions, maybe you've been to an inspiring workshop, or maybe you're just doing a bit of goal setting. First, sit down and write out exactly what changes you want to make. Get clear on that, focusing on how it will be after you make those changes, not what you want to get rid of so much. Then hold your Black Tourmaline, close your eyes and see you're living your life as though you're actually living those changes. They've already been applied, and say, I now know the changes I want to make. Black Tourmaline, show me the path to take. And this can really help you to inspire you and to remove those distractions from your life. All tourmalines are really good for transforming and encouraging the flow of energy, and Black Tourmaline is really good for counteracting stubbornness. Now, if you're finding that there's something that's stopping you in your goals in your life, maybe it's you're too stubborn and you refuse to change, or you don't want to let go of an attitude or a behaviour, you're too attached to it, then working with Black Tourmaline can really help with that. It can also help if you've got a goal and you're finding that something else that's taking longer to manifest and there's some stubbornness somewhere in your life. Then you can create a crystal grid and include some bits of Black Tourmaline in that to help remove that stubbornness. Now, different metaphysicians talk about ringing in the ears being caused by stubbornness and unwillingness to hear what other people want to say. So if you do experiencing ringing in the ears, try wearing Black Tourmaline earrings or having Black Tourmaline near your ears while you meditate, and see if that helps to alleviate that issue. Black Tourmaline balances energies between two parties. It's great to have in negotiation rooms when there's any power struggles happening to make sure that everything is resolved fairly and justly. It's great to pop in playrooms to stop siblings arguing with themselves. Now, you may want to place it near a family photo with either a white, a purple or a pink candle if there's a bit of arguments happening between inheritance or a distribution of assets. It can also help you to balance different aspects of yourself, and when it's worn horizontally like this pendant here, it can really help creative people to be a bit more rational, and really sensible and logical people to think a bit more creatively and think outside of the square. It can also be really beneficial for people that have dyslexia. Black Tourmaline really helps with mindfulness, which is living in the present and not focusing on the past where there's all that sorrow, or living in the future where there's all that anxiety of what might happen. You know, a great activity to do is just focus on a really mundane task. See if you can wash the dishes and focus on the warmth of the water, the suds, the feel of the plates and the cutlery and everything without actually going off on a tangent. And as you do that and start to apply mindfulness, not just when washing the dishes, but all throughout your day, you actually start to become more aware of what's happening around you and how other people are feeling. Black Tourmaline is great if you get distracted at work, leave a bit of Black Tourmaline on your desk, and it'll also help you to be more creative and sensitive to your work colleagues. Now, I like to teach a couple of little activities when I'm working with Black Tourmaline. The first one is draw a big circle and then draw a little circle within that. And first of all, in the big circle, draw all the things that you're worried about or concerned about or have kind of considered in the last 24 hours. And then what you do is draw an arrow for all the ones of those that you can put in there that you can actually have an effect on. The big circle represents your circle of concern. The small circle represents your circle of influence, and Black Tourmaline encourages you to focus on what you can actually influence and stop worrying about all these things that you can have no effect on. As you actually really focus yourself on what you can influence, you can have an amazing impact on your life and become really powerful and in control of all the things you do have an influence of. And what will happen, that circle of influence will actually grow and you can have more of an effect on things that you are concerned about as you change and evolve as a person. When it comes to working with the chakras, I generally guide people to use the matching colour for the chakra. So red crystals for the base, orange for sacral, and so on. But there are a couple of black crystals that can work well with the base chakra when it's overactive. Black Tourmaline is one and jet is another. And what they help to do is they help to remove extra energy from there. So when you have an overactive base chakra, you tend to be a bit reckless and take stupid behaviours because you're risking your safety and your security, which is what the base chakra actually helps to govern. You know, maybe you're disrespectful of other people or just don't actually realise that you're upsetting other people in that way. And this can be really good for taking away that energy and helping you to become more stable and secure in your everyday life. What you can do is you can wear it or carry a small piece in your pocket because it'll be near that base chakra. And when you get a chance, put that near the base of your spine, visualize that red energy being drawn away and just becoming a nice balanced red energy to balance that base chakra so you can be safe, secure, considerate of other people and not partaking in any kind of antisocial behavior. One of the properties of Black Tourmaline that should not be overlooked is its ability to help you communicate with animals. It helps you to align your vibration with theirs and understand the messages and the guidance they're trying to offer you. Now, when you're working with Black Tourmaline, don't expect suddenly that your dog or an animal at the zoo to open its mouth and start giving you instructions. Maybe telepathically you just start to receive messages. Maybe you'll receive messages in your dreams, or possibly what could happen is you'll just be able to understand their behaviours and their movements more. Black Tourmaline is also really good if you work with animals. If you have an overactive or hyperactive animal, then placing a small bit of Black Tourmaline around their collar can help to soothe them, or placing it near their bed can also help to balance their energy. Black Tourmaline is definitely a crystal you should have in your toolkit. And before you start working with it, make sure, noisy birds, make sure that you cleanse it. Now, although I cleanse all my coloured tourmalines using the energy of the rainbow, Black Tourmaline I still cleanse with the earth. So burying it in the earth, or if it's a raw piece like this and you don't want to bury it, just place it on some natural earth. Now bring in other guides and other energy that you can work with. Work with Jehudiel, that angel who can offer you that protection and to help you move along your path. Animal-wise, I like to call on chimpanzee, because chimpanzee can help you to find the tools and the gifts around you, and the gifts within you that you can actually use. He helps you to focus, to use your intellect, to help you move up the evolutionary ladder. So call on him and help him to show you how to be a bit more creative and how to find and think outside the square and really focus and enjoy the process of growing as well. Now the plant I use is Ravensara, and Ravensara comes as a beautiful essential oil. Really great when you're doing those creative visualizations and that goal setting, because it really helps you to focus your intent. It's great for any magical workings where you need to focus and direct energy in a certain way. Astrologically, Black Tourmaline works really well with Saturn, because Saturn is all about discipline, as is Black Tourmaline. So Saturn rules Saturday, so this is a great day to work with your Black Tourmaline. Have you worked with Black Tourmaline? I'd love to hear about your experiences with it because it's such a common crystal. There's so many different ways you can use it. Hopefully I've touched on a few that will really support and help you in your life. But if you've got others, share them with our crystal community and pop them right down below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Adam Barralet. Blessed be.